Philippine history, of course, can be said a history of great people, the Filipino people. But the Philippine history is also history of, treachery, conspiracies, political killings, and assassinations.
Since before the Spaniards arrived, violence has been tied to Philippine politics. The murder of Ninoy Aquino, an outspoken opponent of the Marcos dictatorship, remains one of the most infamous assassinations in modern history.
You have to be very ready with your hand camera because this action can become very fast. In a matter of 3-4 minutes, it could be all over, And I may not be able to talk to you again after this.
Sige, brother. Thank you.
Ninoy Aquino has long been dead. He was killed as he set foot on the airport tarmac. In my opinion, they got the wrong guys. The soldiers, only one guy knew about the assassination plot. The others were innocent. I interviewed them. Only time will make the assassination of Ninoy Aquino justice, and the assassins were the masterminds known. But not now.
Many of the assassinations can be classified as, one, probably they were politically motivated. Probably they wanted to take someone from power, or they wanted to maintain their power, that's why they kill. Because of poverty. I mean, the Philippines is still a poor third world country. Our history is a history of struggle, the ordinary man's everyday struggle against poverty. So, if you offer someone money, even if it's just, probably a few dollars, you're going to have a hired killer who can kill people.
This is the promise of the Unting-Unting, the magical amulets of the Philippines. They are sold in vast quantities, with an Unting-Unting for anything you desire.
It gives wealth, it gives power, it gives success in business, it gives charm for women, and it gives you a good life, a comfortable life, and basically goodness to your heart.
Ito po yung ori na sa health, work, travel, business, relationship, spirit.
Unting-Unting sellers promise invisibility, protection, healing, and even invincibility. A group of Filipinos form a secret society called the Katipunan, dedicated to overthrowing Spanish rule. But how will they convince locals to engage in a suicidal rebellion against a European power? Could it be, as some Filipinos suggest, that the Katipunan harnessed the powers of the Unting-Unting? As the war drags on, leaders of the rebellion gain almost legendary status. Stories are told of each wielding specific Unting-Unting, evening the odds.
Emilio Jacinto was said to be holding an Unting-Unting called Santissima Trinidad. Andres Bonifacio held a Santiago de Galicia, Unting-Unting. And Antonio Luna, General of the Revolution, held what was called Virgen Madre.
Some of the Katipuneros would wear undershirts with images of the Holy Trinity and with inscriptions in Latin.
The Unting-Unting can also be a human person. General Emilio Aguinaldo, there are stories circulating that he neither confirmed nor denied that he had 2 kids with him always. And these two kids serve as his anting-anting. One of them is the flag bearer, and the other one holds his Remington for him. They believe that these two kids are the one that gives power to Aguinaldo. They're like the lucky charm.
To the Spanish, revolutionary belief in the power of the anting-anting seems suicidal. Pitting magic amulets against bullets should be a recipe for disaster. Instead, after a bloody war, the Filipinos emerge victorious. Perhaps their faith in the anting-anting was not misplaced.
Marcos was in many ways, he had an image of entering into the Philippine psyche in the 65 elections as a Kennedy. Marcos was a very young president, and Imelda was a very beautiful wife and adoring little children. And so Marcos had a very positive image in the beginning of his term.
Yes, we have power, but only for purposes of productive enterprise.
With rioters besieging the presidential palace, Marcos considers his options.
I have been called to save the country.
Marcos actually made a handwritten diary of most of his days as president. And it reflected, of course, his perspective of history, of what was happening around him.
This is the message I deduce from the visions that I see asleep and awake. You are the only person who can do it, said God.
He said that God is telling him that that his mission in life is to stop the communists from ruling this country.
I still feel that my greatest contribution to the country will be saving it from communism. The issue has become this simple and brutal. It is a matter of survival.
The first person arrested under martial law is opposition leader Ninoy Aquino.
Ninoy Aquino was the main political rival of Marcos. In fact, I think Marcos thinks of him as a very formidable opponent. If there are two people who understood each other more than anyone else, it's Marcos and Ninoy.
I am ready to call a snap election.
When he announced the snap elections, he announced it at midnight, and he announced it on American television. So a lot of us are actually thinking that the elections was not made for Filipinos. It was actually a show so that the Americans would still think that he has mandate. Marcos wanted to crush that rebellion. He wanted to crush the few hundred people inside those two camps. He wanted to end that rebellion.